Inside every cell of your body, there's a silent process happening, one that decides whether a cell will survive, repair itself, or quietly die. This hidden mechanism is called autophagy, meaning self-eating. It sounds alarming, but it's actually one of the most powerful repair tools nature has given us. Imagine millions of microscopic janitors sweeping through your cells, cleaning up waste and recycling old parts into new energy. For decades, scientists didn't realize how crucial this process was. Cells seemed to function fine until researchers noticed something extraordinary. When autophagy failed, diseases began to appear, from Alzheimer's and cancer to accelerated aging. Suddenly, the idea of cellular cleanup became a cornerstone of modern longevity research. But here's the fascinating twist. You can actually activate this cellular self-repair system through something incredibly simple: not eating. Yes, fasting can turn on the molecular machinery that makes your body rejuvenate itself from the inside out. And the big question everyone wants to know is, how long do you have to fast before this hidden mechanism wakes up? The answer isn't what most people think, and the science behind it is even more mind-blowing than you might imagine. Autophagy is like your body's built-in recycling system. When activated, it breaks down damaged proteins and worn-out cell parts, then reuses the raw materials to create new and healthy components. It's the biological version of cleaning your room, except this room is every cell in your body. In 2016, Japanese scientist Yoshinori Ohsumi won the Nobel Prize in Physiology or Medicine for discovering the mechanisms behind autophagy. His work showed that this process is not just about cellular housekeeping, it's vital for survival. Without it, toxins accumulate, cells malfunction, and aging accelerates at a shocking rate. When you fast, your body senses a drop in nutrient availability. That scarcity flips a switch, and suddenly the body enters a survival mode that prioritizes efficiency and repair. Instead of constantly digesting food, your system starts to focus inward, recycling what's already there. This shift doesn't just help with weight loss. It can sharpen your mind, boost energy, and extend lifespan. It's not magic. It's molecular evolution in action. But before you start skipping meals, there's something critical to understand about timing. It all started with yeast cells. When Ohsumi deprived them of nutrients, he noticed something bizarre. Tiny vesicles inside the cells began engulfing debris. What he was seeing was autophagy in real time, the cell literally eating its own damaged parts to survive. This revelation turned the scientific world upside down. Soon after, researchers discovered that this wasn't limited to yeast. Human cells behaved the same way. The implications were enormous. By controlling nutrient availability, you could control how efficiently your cells repair themselves. Fasting, once seen as a religious ritual, suddenly became a legitimate biological strategy. As the studies expanded, scientists began to identify when autophagy kicked in during fasting. It wasn't immediate. Your body doesn't enter cleanup mode the moment you skip breakfast. It takes time, a delicate balance between energy depletion and cellular stress. This delay intrigued researchers even more. If you could pinpoint the exact moment autophagy begins, you could theoretically harness it for anti-aging, disease prevention, and even athletic recovery. And that's where things start to get really interesting. Every second of every day, your cells are producing waste. Misfolded proteins, broken mitochondria, leftover molecules. Normally, your body handles this quietly through systems like autophagy. You don't feel it, you don't notice it, but it's happening constantly in the background. When autophagy is working well, you stay healthy and energetic. But when it slows down, due to overeating, constant snacking, or chronic stress, cellular trash begins to pile up. That buildup leads to inflammation, fatigue, and accelerated aging. Think of it like a city that never takes out the garbage. Fasting reactivates this natural detox system. Without food coming in, your body starts searching for internal fuel sources, and the first thing it targets is the old, damaged cellular material. It's an elegant process, destruction and renewal happening at the same time. And yet, there's a threshold. A specific point when the body shifts gears from simply burning stored energy to full-on cellular recycling. Scientists call this the autophagy activation window. And finding that window has become one of the most fascinating quests in modern biology. In the first few hours after your last meal, nothing dramatic happens. At least not on the surface. Your body is still using glucose from your bloodstream and glycogen stored in your liver. You might feel normal, maybe even energized, as your insulin levels begin to fall. Around 6 to 12 hours in, your metabolism quietly changes direction. The body begins to rely less on sugar and more on fat for energy. Hormones like norepinephrine rise to keep you alert, while growth hormone subtly increases to protect your muscles. It's your body preparing for what's to come. But during this stage, autophagy hasn't fully begun. Your cells are still adjusting, testing the waters of nutrient scarcity. The repair systems are warming up, but the cleanup crew hasn't officially clocked in yet. So when does it begin? Scientists suggest that somewhere beyond the 12-hour mark, depending on your diet, activity level, and metabolic health, autophagy begins to whisper to life. And in the next stage, which you'll discover soon, it starts to roar. Once you cross the 12-hour mark, your body officially steps into a new metabolic state. Insulin levels remain low, glycogen stores begin to run out, and fat becomes the main source of fuel. This shift doesn't just change where your energy comes from, it changes what your body prioritizes. Energy conservation becomes the mission, and efficiency becomes the rule. Behind the scenes, molecular sensors like AMPK and sirtuins detect that nutrients are scarce. These sensors act like master switches, signaling your cells to pause growth and start maintenance mode. It's like your body saying, "Let's repair before we rebuild." This is the biological equivalent of shutting down a factory for deep cleaning. As this process deepens, you might feel sharper or calmer. That's not your imagination. Fasting increases brain-derived neurotrophic factor, BDNF, a compound that supports learning and memory. Your body is literally reprogramming itself to thrive in a state of mild stress. And now, deep in this quiet transformation, the first true whispers of autophagy begin. It's subtle at first, like an orchestra warming up before the music starts. But soon, that symphony of self-repair will take center stage. At around 16 hours, something remarkable begins. The cleanup crew is no longer whispering, it's working. Old proteins, misfolded enzymes, and damaged mitochondria are identified and consumed by autophagosomes, the specialized vesicles that perform this cellular recycling. You might notice a shift in your energy. For some, there's a sense of clarity, a mental lightness that comes from stabilized blood sugar and cleaner energy production. For others, there's mild discomfort as the body continues adapting. Either way, this is where transformation begins to take physical form. Scientists have observed that at around this stage, inflammation markers begin to decrease while antioxidant activity rises. Your cells are not just cleaning, they're fortifying. The process is elegant and almost poetic as your body dismantles its weakest links to rebuild stronger ones. But here's where patience becomes power. While 16 hours might trigger mild autophagy, deeper repair requires more time. The longer the fast continues, the more the body shifts from survival to renewal. By the 24-hour mark, the body is officially in what researchers call the repair zone. Glycogen reserves are nearly gone, insulin is low, and fat metabolism dominates.
This metabolic environment is the perfect storm for full-scale autophagy.
At this point, cells are actively dismantling damaged organelles, particularly mitochondria, in a process known as mitophagy. This is crucial for long-term health, as malfunctioning mitochondria contribute to aging and disease. Your body is now performing maintenance on a microscopic level, rejuvenating itself from the inside out. Fascinatingly, immune cells also benefit. Studies show that fasting for 24 hours can regenerate portions of the immune system, flushing out old white blood cells and stimulating the production of new ones. It's like hitting a reset button on your body's defense network. But even though the benefits are ramping up, this stage requires caution. Energy levels may dip and hydration becomes critical. The body is working hard behind the scenes, and the deeper stages of autophagy are just around the corner. Before we dive deeper, I want to know your take. If your body starts deep cellular repair after about 24 hours, would you consider doing a one-day fast just to trigger this process? Comment 24 hours to reset below if you try it, or not for me if you think that sounds too extreme. Crossing into the second day of fasting marks a profound shift. Now the body isn't just cleaning, it's rebuilding. The recycling systems are running at full capacity, breaking down everything unnecessary to sustain only what is essential. This is deep autophagy, the kind that scientists link to longevity and resilience. During this stage, growth pathways like mTOR stay suppressed, while autophagic activity peaks. Old cellular material is transformed into fresh components, amino acids, lipids, and even energy. Your cells are practically reinventing themselves from the inside out. Internal transformation has external reflections. People often report mental clarity, reduced inflammation, and improved skin tone during extended fasts. That's because your body is freeing itself from accumulated oxidative damage, the biological equivalent of shedding old armor. Yet this power comes with responsibility. Extended fasting isn't for everyone. The body is resilient, but balance is key. Knowing when to stop is as important as knowing when to start, because pushing beyond the limit can turn repair into risk. When the fast extends to around 36 hours, you enter the most intense stage of autophagy. This is where the body goes all in on renewal. Research from cell biology and longevity studies suggests that this is the sweet spot, where cellular recycling hits its highest efficiency without tipping into starvation mode. By now, your cells are operating in full repair mode. Damaged structures are dismantled, faulty proteins are recycled, and mitochondria are rejuvenated. The body becomes astonishingly efficient, almost like it's reprogrammed for survival and optimization. Hormones also play a part here. Growth hormone levels can increase up to 5-fold, preserving lean tissue and promoting fat metabolism. The combination of high autophagy and balanced hormones creates a powerful synergy for cellular and metabolic health. And here's the most mind-blowing part. Many of the longevity effects linked to fasting appear to be triggered during this window. From improved brain function to potential cancer protection, this stage represents the biological masterpiece that fasting can unlock. Fasting is powerful, but like every force of nature, it has limits. When you go too far, the body shifts from strategic repair into pure survival mode. Muscle tissue may start to break down for fuel, hormone levels can drop, and fatigue becomes overwhelming. What was once a tool for renewal turns into a stress signal. At this point, the brain becomes protective. Cortisol levels rise, the metabolism slows, and hunger hormones like ghrelin surge. The body's message is clear: feed me, or I'll start consuming myself in ways you won't like. The beauty of autophagy lies in balance. It's meant to repair, not destroy. Researchers emphasize that extreme fasting doesn't mean extreme benefit. In fact, excessive deprivation can impair immunity, cause nutrient deficiencies, and disrupt mental focus. The art of fasting isn't about testing endurance. It's about finding the rhythm where healing thrives. So while science celebrates the power of autophagy, it also reminds us, longevity isn't about suffering.
It's about wisdom, knowing when to start the fire and when to let it rest. Autophagy and starvation look similar on the surface. Both involve a lack of food. But biologically, they're worlds apart. Autophagy is a controlled, beneficial response. Starvation, on the other hand, is chaos. In starvation, the body begins breaking down healthy tissue just to survive.
The key difference lies in intention and timing. Fasting is voluntary and limited, giving the body enough space to repair, but not enough to panic. Starvation is involuntary and prolonged, where systems collapse instead of evolve. The shift from health to harm can be subtle but significant. Studies show that moderate fasting enhances metabolism and brain health, while chronic undernourishment weakens both. It's like the difference between training stress and injury. One makes you stronger, the other breaks you down. The same stress that builds resilience can also destroy it if taken too far. So, the real secret of autophagy isn't in how long you fast, but in how smartly you fast. Listening to your body, respecting its signals, and using science as your compass. That's how you master the balance between healing and harm. Most people associate fasting with fat loss, but the benefits go far deeper. Activated autophagy improves brain clarity, boosts longevity, enhances immune response, and even supports mental health. It's not just a diet trick, it's cellular evolution in motion. Some researchers believe autophagy could hold the key to reversing age-related decline. By cleaning out damaged mitochondria and proteins, it slows down the internal clockwork of aging itself. It's as if your body is performing a biological tune-up, extending the lifespan of every cell. Another overlooked benefit is emotional resilience. People who fast regularly often describe a strange calm, a mental reset that feels both ancient and modern. It's biology and mindfulness merging into one harmonious experience. And yet these deeper benefits remain hidden behind the flashy headlines about weight loss. The truth is, fasting isn't just about the body. It's about reconnecting with the natural rhythm of renewal that evolution designed within us. Here's where things get exciting. Yes, fasting is the most direct trigger of autophagy, but it's not the only one. Research shows that exercise, cold exposure, heat therapy, and even certain nutrients can activate similar cellular pathways. Your lifestyle can literally mimic fasting's effects. High-intensity workouts, for example, temporarily deplete glycogen, creating a mild fasting-like stress that turns on autophagy. Similarly, polyphenols in foods like green tea, turmeric, and resveratrol activate AMPK, the same energy sensor involved in fasting-induced repair. Sleep is another underrated trigger. Deep, consistent rest enhances hormonal balance and gives the body uninterrupted time for cellular maintenance. Even short-term calorie restriction, without full fasting, can nudge autophagy into action. So while skipping meals remains the most effective route, there are multiple doorways into the same cellular state. The takeaway? You don't always have to starve. Sometimes you just have to strategize. If you're fascinated by how fasting reshapes your body, you have to watch this next. What happens to your immune system during fasting? Science explained. It perfectly complements what you've learned here, showing how your immune cells literally rebuild themselves while you fast. Trust me, it's one of the most underrated science stories on this channel. After decades of research, most scientists agree the sweet spot for meaningful autophagy lies between 16 and 36 hours of fasting. It's the window where your body transitions from fuel burning to deep repair, long enough to activate the cleanup, but not enough to avoid harm. Short daily fasts like 16-8 keep your cells regularly tuned. Occasional 24-hour fasts enhance resilience. And for those medically fit and experienced, a 36-hour fast can deliver a full autophagic reboot. Beyond that, supervision and expertise become essential. The magic of this process isn't just in biology. It's in consistency. Autophagy isn't a one-time event. It's a rhythm. The more your body learns this rhythm, the more efficient it becomes at protecting and renewing itself. So next time you think about skipping a meal, remember, you're not depriving your body. You're giving it a chance to heal itself from the inside out. If this video helped you understand how fasting activates your body's hidden repair system, hit the like button, subscribe for more deep dive Science Explained, and share this video with someone who's curious about fasting and longevity. You might just inspire them to start their own health experiment.